Jesus is not your man. There's a couple of tell. That's one of them.
But when sometimes people go from like this person or the next person, people are always, I'm not gonna say like with people that they don't love, but they're just like with people, and it's like you think you love them, but you maybe really don't, and they just, I don't know, it's just something I don't think you really should play with or take.
You can give me in love one moment on Facebook, and then the next moment you could and you would have never do, and you tell me you love this guy. Oh yeah, he completes my sentences. He completes my. I'm like, oh, it was just with my man.
Like that. Was in love. Like the past never happened.
It didn't happen. It didn't exist. You're just a totally new person, and it's like within a month, I see it so much. I'm like, yo, people. I guess they have a warped view of what that
they
is.
just don't know what they're doing in their lives.
Right. And I guess for the young people, I kind of get their situation or why they got it twisted.
Yeah.
But when I see people our age, man.
Yeah, I'm like, really?
Yo, come on, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The ones our age.
That's just no, man. You know, y'all
the younger ones, the younger kids, you blow them off. Oh, whatever. You know, I see what they're doing. They're young. But when you see people like 30, 32, doing the same stuff, you're like, what's up?
Yeah, what's going on? So we'll slide into our next topic, and we will discuss the word, the usage of the N word. So is it useful? Is it harmful? Should it be abolished? You know, what's your guys' take on that? No,
I think it's talking to my mom, I think it has a lot to do with like the generations as well. I think we live in a generation where we feel as though it's offensive coming from certain people, but we use it in our culture to talk to each other, which I feel like is 50% acceptable and 50% unacceptable, because I'm in the culture and I know the culture and I love it, so I don't really think that it's like, oh, but so harmless. But for other people who have lived through civil rights movements and a lot of racial, like growing up in that time period, they're like, we don't think this is funny. Like, we don't think, like forget this culture stuff. So I abolish, I don't think it'll ever be abolished. I don't think collectively everybody will stop saying it, because I think people that's in at least the generation that we're in, some of them, like they listen to it in their music, they speak like that with their other peers, and they don't do it to offend their peers. They do it to kind of just as a recognition of each other. But people who I think have grown up in their generation, like our parents or our grandparents, who have actually, lived in the Deep South or actually experienced a lot of racism, I don't think they'll ever agree that it's like, oh, okay, I know you're just saying hi to your friend. That's my take.
Right. For me, well, go ahead, Omar.
Yeah, I think it's. I understand that part though with the older folks, not really feeling the word, but I think it all depends on the energy that you're using when you use the word. If you're using it like as a term of endearment, I'm not mad at it. But if you're using it as a term of aggression, I'm still not mad at it, because we was brought up in that generation, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. So I don't really be tripping over what people say. As long as you don't just go slap nobody or something like that, like I'm pretty good with it. But words, I don't take it that deep, because I'm not gonna. I say it, but I don't say it in certain settings around certain people. But when I'm around my friends, man, this dude tripping. You'll see it around in a certain setting. But other than that, I don't really think. I think we got so many other fish to fry. And I don't think the word is going anywhere. I just think that it's just going to be around. People are going to say it, and it's going to be said, and it just depends on how you use it. And if you use it in a negative way, you deal with the repercussions. Use it in a positive way, that is what it is.
Yeah, I got an interesting take on this. So, okay, I use the N word like a noun or a subject noun to describe the person, place, or thing. So I do use the word. I use it collectively, and if people are acting like that, then I'm going to use that. You know what I mean? But I give a situation where I don't feel it's useful. So if I'm with a bunch of people, a small collective where that culture and it's okay to say that, then I'll use that. But I don't like being addressed with that word. I didn't really mind it in my 20s, but then after a while, it became offensive to me. I feel like if I run into you, Armand, in the street, if I see Dan in the street, yo, what's good, my aunt? And I immediately feel like our conversation, it gets degraded. Like our conversation immediately it's been lowered. It's been bottomed out. And that's just my thoughts on it, because I don't want to be addressed with that word by anybody. It's offensive. I don't like the way it feels to me. I use it in the term of when I'm describing something, because sometimes that's the only word that really can describe something. You know what I mean? And I would use it like that. I use it as an adjective or a noun. But I'll give y'all an example. I don't know if y'all remember this, but the Clippers played the Warriors it was a Christmas game. And,
was it a fan? This was the incident with the fan?
It was Matt Barnes got into it with some of the Warriors, Golden State Warriors, and he was defending Blake Griffin. And you know, Armand, everybody be trying to roughhouse Blake, and Blake don't really want to clap back.
Yeah, I know.
So Barnes elbowed somebody, and Barnes got ejected. He goes straight to the locker room. He go right to Twitter. See, this is why I can't stand these ends. Can't never do ish for nobody. And I'm just like, no, like why are you tweeting that out to the world? Like, I felt embarrassed, like, to be black. I felt embarrassed that day because I don't. And so Matt Barnes doing that, how can you be upset when some little Jewish kid from Oakland, California says the same thing right back to you? You just described everybody on Twitter, on a worldwide network, on a platform.
Yeah, that platform is kind of.
So that's where I feel it's harmful, and that's where it can get a little, I'm gonna say scary. I'll say scary, because hey, what KRS say? He said white people got. What'd he say? Down goes another one. You figure white kids calling themselves niggas. You know what I mean? KRS said it in over 10 years ago. So that's where I feel like I'm scared. I'm scared where that's going to go and where it's already is.
It's already there. People, everybody say it. It's just that they use it in context, or they do it, behind the scenes. I mean, I just know everybody say it. Cause people, I would never say that word in front of nobody.
Right.
But you said it before, and I'm looking at it now. I look at it like if you turn anything into a positive, I think it's all perspective how you look at it. When people say something, like I'm proud to be who I am. I'm proud of my history. I'm proud of my lineage, my family, and where I'm going. So, like, that stuff don't even mean nothing to me before, because I feel like we can dominate life if we want to, like whatever you're doing. If you're in business, I'm like, yo, to me now, I don't care about you looking at me a certain way, because I'm like, anything you can do, I can do better, and I literally can go do it. Like, you can't say I can't go to school no more, or I can't do this no more. I can do everything you want to do. So I'm like, that word, you want to use that? If I got to just deal with the word, and you're not shrinking me up, please, I can deal with the word. And when I see somebody that they be black and they may use it, because sometimes you never had that experience where you go somewhere and you're like the only black person there. Mm-hmm. And then you see another black person, you automatically speak to them,
right?
Because usually when you're in an event where there's a lot of black people, you may not speak to that black person.
That brother better not call me the N-word though.
Yeah, I don't think he would ever just come out and be like,
I'm just messing.
yo, nigga. I don't think he would just come out and do that.
Yeah, I'm just messing.
But I'm just not. I think the word. I'm not offended by it no more. Like other people, like if somebody call me that, I'm like, I'm just gonna use a stereotype to them.
Yeah, I mean that don't bother me either.
I don't like Matt Barnes on the platform. I think that's like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
But I agree, it's in the sense that we got bigger fish to fry, and I think it's so deep rooted, like how we started saying the word, and we just don't even think, like we don't even really think about it no more unless it comes. Unless it comes from a person of a different race or unless it's using derogatory. So I'm in agreement with, we just got bigger fish to fry. And I don't think that we always, in a professional sense, like some people know how to be professional. Some people know how to turn it on and off. Of course, if we at work, we not like, yo, man, But if we in the house and we chilling, we like, yo, that's crazy. Like, it just might be that type of vibe or situation. But that just can't be that just can't be our fight right now because we just got so many other battles.
I'm gonna say maybe like to close this off, like because Ashley kind of pointed to how a lot of elders in Black culture kind of shun it, but I love if y'all ever hear Russell Simmons like talk, I love how he gets down. Like I don't know if y'all ever like listen in his interviews or anything when he's not on live television. But that boy used the N word like 50,000 times in a sentence, and I love the way he uses it though, because he's using it, he bounces it with intellect, and every single time he uses the word, first of all, it's funny as hell, but he's directing it to something, whether it's a feeling or emotion or a situation, and I feel like coming from him, It's pretty creative the way he uses it. If y'all gotta check an interview out just to hear him like 2 minutes, you know what I mean? But
and sometimes the older generation, not everybody, but certain segments of the older generation, I think they be hating a little bit that
how it evolved,
how it evolved, and how that Young Bucks is like more. I don't care about the system. I don't care about what he say or what he's saying. And I think they want it to be really aggressive.
They want us to be more affected than we are.
Huh?
They want us to be more affected by it than we are.
Yeah, they want us to be affected by it, and I think
they want us to be more offended.
And I think younger people are like, it's not as, they're very direct. Like, I don't care about the rules. I don't care if they say this. I'm saying it. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And I think when I hear people talk about, like, I know Brandon don't like Floyd Mayweather, but I hear people talk about Floyd Mayweather and say like, oh, he don't understand, and he don't understand what we struggle for. I'm like, listen, his way of getting his money is the way he doing it, but I think that he's making such an impact on what he's doing. I don't look at that because there's so many, when our grandparents were growing up, they couldn't do what he doing. Right. So yeah. they probably wanted to say all this stuff about, how Floyd was talking about, man, I don't work for no white man. I ain't doing that. No white man, I make all my own money. And the white people don't like me because he go on ESPN and say that. I think some older Black folks don't like that because they couldn't do it. Mm-hmm. And he's doing it, and he's making more money. So like, I don't like this dude talking like that. But why you mad at what he's saying? He just basically being extremely honest, and he's making money, and he's saying like, I'm not working for nobody. So, and I think a lot of older folks at my job, they was like, I don't like him. I don't like him because he embarrasses himself in front of white people. I'm like, yeah, but who are they? Right. To be embarrassing themselves in front of, they not nobody. Like, I'm not even looking at them as a radar to judge me. I feel like saying this, I'm saying it, but I'm not worried about how they perceive it because they not God. Only thing you say is like, okay, maybe God can judge me. Not maybe, but God can judge me. But not like, okay, the white man ain't gonna like this. The white media not gonna like this, so we shouldn't say it. Why not? Right. Same thing with the concussion thing. And the older football players are mad about how much money the NFL making. I think they make it, and I think they mad the younger people. The older players, yeah. For speaking out, and he talk about LaShawn McCoy. He's speaking out. He treating Chip Kelly wrong, and he need to shake his hand and make amends. But LaShawn McCoy, I ain't shaking his hand. I got my contract, forget him. But they couldn't say that. They couldn't say it in the 70s because they wasn't getting half the money these players getting now. and for the coach to disrespect them and he disrespect them back,